If you're a single man, here's a quiz for you. What do those three guys here have in common? Well, there's a TikTok trend called Hear Me Out, where girls reveal some of their most unexpected crushes, like him, and well, him. And I think we need to analyze this. Sometimes women drop the craziest take on who they find attractive that makes you reconsider everything you think you knew. Nevertheless, those are the perfect opportunity to try and define what women love and want to see in a potential partner. And believe me, you're in for some surprises. In this video, I will dig deeper into female fantasies, what you think they like, what they say they like, and what they actually like. We will consider different angles for this, from scientific literature to trends on TikTok, and also data from Google searches. If you're confused and frustrated by the females around and what they want, here are finally the answers you've been looking for. There's a fascinating book called A Billion Wicked Thoughts, which was based on an analysis of millions of Google searches from women. The authors, two researchers who used to work at Google, noticed some very unexpected patterns in what women seem to fantasize about. They found that some of the most common male archetypes in women's fantasies include pirates, surgeons, vampires, and werewolf. Now, this might sound confusing. I mean, if you thought women wanted a guy who was empathetic and maybe just attractive, well, vampires, pirates, and werewolf might not exactly scream relationship goals, right? So what happens there? That's where science comes in. Let's dive into what the research actually says about the behaviors women find attractive and see if it can explain that. When it comes down to it, women are often looking for someone who makes them feel safe, both physically and emotionally. When you think a character like a pirate or a werewolf is dangerous, women see it as someone capable of protection. A pirate, especially a captain like Jack Sparrow, for example, he takes the lead, protects his crew. He's the boss. The werewolf shows strength, and if he does not show aggression towards her, then he can be her protector. That's what we'll see also in the tale of Beauty and the Beast, by the way. Women want to know they're safe, in the sense of being protected by a strong, masculine-looking man. Confirming this, studies have shown that women are drawn to men who exude confidence. Characters like pirates and werewolves have this. They're dominant and control their surroundings. That confidence makes them appear strong and stable, which makes women feel safe. Understand this here. Women use confidence as a clue for competence. When a man looks unfazed, he looks extremely confident and therefore competent, which signals to her, hey, this guy is solid. I can totally rely on him to build my life around. Now, if it was just about strength and power, then the most brutal caveman would get all the women. So obviously there is more to it. Movie characters like vampires or werewolves are attractive not just because of their confidence and power, but because their authors make them form deep emotional connections. And research shows that shared experiences and emotional bonds play a huge role in attraction. A guy who's strong and also capable of forming a bond? Yeah, that's something a lot of women find appealing. Think about a vampire that is capable of violence, but decides to be kind only to her and the people she loves. Are you really thinking about a particular movie now? We will see that later. But what about the surgeon? Well, surgeons have a very rare competence and the power of life and death over someone. On top of that, they earn good money. We mix physical competence, social status, and wealth all in one. So to summarize, science tells us that women look for someone that can feel safe with, and that safety must come from being with a strong, competent man that is capable of being a monster when necessary, but is civilized enough to form a connection with her. All of this is pretty easy to understand from another angle. In the past, women who were attracted to weak men incapable of violence got wiped out by external threats. But if they were attracted to violent men incapable of discerning friend from foe, they got wiped out by those animals. Only women who got with strong men capable of protecting them survived. And therefore, that's how nature selected women's preferences in men. Alright, now that we've explored the science, let's look back at those three guys from the intro and break down why women find them so irresistible. Diego is introduced as a tough, dangerous guy, so that makes him capable of protection. But by the end of the movie, he's loyal and emotionally deeper. This transformation taps into something important. Women want to be able to tame the dangerous man. Plus, here is something we have not said yet, but Diego's voice adds to his appeal. Why? A deeper voice is scientifically shown to make a guy seem more confident and masculine, which definitely adds to Diego's charm.
Well, I have a message for Soto. Tell him I'm bringing the baby. And tell him I'm bringing a mammoth.
But it's not just how deep the voice is that matters, it's also how calm and confident it sounds. We can tell a lot of a man's emotional state through the way he speaks, maybe even more than with his behavior. Then there is Death, the wolf from Puss in Boots. First of all, understand that Puss himself is attractive to women. He's fun, competent, charming, and confident, but in the movie, he gets wrecked by this wolf that beats him so easily that when women see that, it's like the wolf unlocked a level of attractiveness they didn't know before. Basically, the alpha met his own alpha.
What's the matter? Lives flashing before your eyes? Pick it up. Pick it up.
What specifically distinguished him is his calm confidence. He doesn't need to show off like Puss. His presence speaks for itself. And his voice has that low, commanding tone that screams power. Finally, Gil from Finding Nemo is the opposite of the perfect hero, but that's what makes him interesting. He's been through a lot in life, and that gives him strength and wisdom. We can even physically see it with his scars, and his voice adds a gritty, rugged edge to him, making him even more appealing.
Nobody touch him. Nobody touch him.
Can you help me?
No. You get yourself in there, you can get yourself out.
He basically incarnates life experiences that got him super confident and solid. Remember, women want a competent and confident man, and there he is as a fish. So, what do Diego, Death, and Gil all have in common? They represent qualities like confidence, resilience, and power. These are all traits that women are subconsciously attracted to. And let's not forget the importance of their voices. Strong, deep voices make these characters even more compelling. By the way, there's this cool thing I noticed recently on TikTok. Women are saying they're actually attracted to the voice of ChatGPT when it's answering them.
Well, looks like I've got admirers lining up for me. Can't blame them, can you?
I don't know, but men are also saying they're cooked because they fear you might steal their women. How's that?
Ha! Men getting cooked over little me? That's their problem, not mine. If they can't handle a little competition, maybe they need to up their game.
At this stage, it should not surprise you. It's calm, confident, has this underlying intelligence to it. I mean, he does have all the answers and he's never tired of listening to you. It basically associates safety, competence, and charm all in one. Now that we have an idea of what women are looking for in a man, we can dive even deeper into the rabbit hole and explore their sexual fantasies and how those actually confirm a lot of what we've found so far. There's a book called My Secret Garden by Nancy Friday, and it's all about women's sexual fantasies. Now, what's interesting is how Nancy actually collected these fantasies. She didn't just make them up. She went out and asked real women to share their deepest, most personal desires. She reached out to women of all ages, backgrounds, and walks of life, and she made sure they knew they could be totally honest and open. She collected a bunch of different types of fantasies, but they all sort and fit into a few main categories. One of the most common is the dominance submission fantasy, where the man is in control and the woman gives up control. In these fantasies, it's also about the thrill of letting go. Think about it, giving up control can feel liberating for her, especially if she has a lot of responsibilities in life. That's what happens in 50 Shades of Grey, by the way. In the story, there's Christian Grey, successful, confident, and controlling guy, and we have Anastasia Steele, a shy, independent woman who gets drawn into his world. Christian's dominance isn't just physical, it's about creating a certain kind of emotional vulnerability where Anastasia has to give up control, but in a way that makes her feel safe and desired at the same time. Christian offers that power and control, but at the same time, he's really offering Anastasia a chance to explore a side of herself she's never let out before. Another big category is the romantic fantasies. Now, these are more about deep emotional connection, being cared for, and feeling special. It's the opposite end of the power spectrum, focusing more on trust and warmth rather than control. This is what you see in romantic movies more conventionally, like The Notebook, for example. Then there is the taboo category, which can involve things that feel a bit forbidden or push boundaries. It could be anything from the excitement of getting caught to more extreme fantasies like role-playing edgy scenarios. Now, these type of fantasies might feel risky, but that's part of the thrill. It's about that forbidden fruit. And we definitely see that in 50 Shades, but also simply in movies like Titanic or Romeo and Juliet. They're not supposed to date, and yet they do it. For this, I'm pretty sure that men have a similar fantasy. Lastly, there are fantasies about strength and protection. It relates to the allure of danger mixed with safety. And this is exactly where stories like the werewolf or vampire types we've talked about. And by now, if you have not thought about Twilight, you probably lived in a cave for most of your life. Edward the vampire is all about danger, mystery, and irresistible love. Then you've got Jacob the werewolf, who brings raw masculinity, loyalty, and protection. These characters are a perfect example of the power dynamics we've been talking about. Control, passion, and danger, all wrapped up in a fantasy. It's a mix of fear of meeting a dangerous man who then expresses his loyalty to you and nobody else. So to summarize, most women at some point fantasize about a dominant, dangerous man that will engage in that romantic attraction with her and maybe have sexual intercourse in a culturally inappropriate way. Do you see how all of this makes sense? Women who were not physically attracted to those sexual fantasies would not try to meet those kind of strong, competent males and therefore be wiped out. Their sex drive made them survive by associating with men that would protect them throughout history. And today we still see the effects of that natural selection on their behaviors, as we've seen with science, Google searches, TikTok trends, etc. At this stage, you're probably wondering, how can you use this information exactly? In a previous video, I talked about how attraction can be broken into 3 categories: sexual attractiveness, fun, and safety. Now let me quickly explain how it's going to help you integrate what you have watched so far. After physical appearance, traits like dominance and strength matter the most here. That's what we see in Death from Puss in Boots. He's a physical embodiment of danger, but he's also calm, controlled, and really confident in his own abilities. Then there is the fun aspect. Think about characters like Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean. Jack's playful, charming, but also adventurous, daring, and always ready to take risks. He's unpredictable and keeps things exciting, which is exactly the kind of energy that draws people in. Women are attracted to that guy who brings a sense of adventure, humor, and fun into her life. Someone who can make her laugh and try new things. And of course, don't forget safety. That's really the foundation of everything. If someone like Jack or Jacob wasn't ultimately trustworthy, they wouldn't hit the mark, no matter how strong or adventurous they are. Remember Diego from Ice Age? He shows that balance of strength and trustworthiness. Women want to feel secure, both emotionally and physically. Being able to balance all of that, competence, fun, and safety, is key to make her fall in love. Now, here's where you come in. The self-assessment. You need to evaluate where you currently stand in each of those areas. Ask yourself, do you project confidence and competence? Are you someone who inspires attraction beyond just your physical appearance? Do you know how to bring excitement and fun into her life? Are you engaging, adventurous, and exciting to be around? Do you make her feel safe emotionally and physically? Can she trust you? Once you've evaluated yourself honestly, you'll know exactly where you need to improve. Maybe you need to step up your confidence, or maybe you're already good there but need to work on creating more fun experiences. Or perhaps you realize that you haven't focused enough on making her feel secure with you. Now that you've got this framework in place, you can go ahead and start putting these conclusions into practice. Pick the areas that needs the most attention and work on it. And remember, this is all about incremental progress. By improving each category, you'll naturally increase your overall attractiveness. If you found this video helpful and want to dive deeper into understanding attraction, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future content. If you have any questions or want more tips, feel free to ask in the comments here or through my other social media. I'll be sure to answer. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it and share it with anyone you think could benefit from this information. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.